President of the Republic, Ilir Meta, has declared his position on the election of the new Chief Prosecutor, stating that there must be transparent dialogue from all sides within the constitutional laws. The Ministry of Education is revising laws to include the provision of free textbooks to students studying from the 1st to the 4th grade. 870 trees were added to the park of Farka Lake as businesses respond to the Mayor's call to give a gift to Tirana this holiday season. Good evening. It's 6 o'clock on Monday, the 11th of December 2017. Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight for the English edition of Aura News, bringing you the day's national top stories translated into English 6 days a week. Even the President, Ilir Meta, has expressed his opinion that the election of the new Chief Prosecutor should be resolved with dialogue between the parties. At the conference with his Montenegrin counterpart, Vujanovic, Meta said that the Chief Prosecutor should be elected according to the process outlined by the Constitution. He went on to reject any unilateral elections because, according to him, this would damage the institutions. Transparent dialogue is needed within the constitutional laws, said Ilir Meta. Meta also spoke about the non-decreeing of the new chief of the State Information Service, saying that he is not convinced that Prime Minister Rama's proposal, Halidon Bendo, is the best candidate. I am not yet convinced of Rama's proposal on this matter, said Ilir Meta. The call for dialogue on the election of the Chief Prosecutor has also been made by Prime Minister Rama, directed at the Democratic Party leader Lulzim Basha. Basha has proposed an amendment to the Constitution to add provisions for the appointment of a transitional Chief Prosecutor. President Ilir Meta praised the improved relations between Albania and the neighbouring country of Montenegro, citing such examples as the success at the Murichan border crossing point. The President also went on to acknowledge that there are still opportunities for the two governments to cooperate further, especially in relation to reducing queues at the borders. Muricani's border point is a success, but there is still need for improvement, said Ilir Meta. Montenegrin President Filip Vujanovic stressed that the two countries will be holding a joint meeting of the governments with the aim of advancing regional projects. Vujanovic also praised the law on national minorities that was approved by the Albanian Parliament. A meeting of our governments to be held for progressing joint regional projects, said Filip Vujanovic. The two presidents also talked about the demarcation between Montenegro and Kosovo, saying they expect this issue to be resolved amicably for the good of the two countries. The demarcation issue is an internal affair of Kosovo. We will wait, said Filip Vujanovic. I appreciate the constructive attitude of Montenegro regarding demarcation, said Ilir Meta. According to the two presidential counterparts, the discussions around the maritime border between Albania and Montenegro involve simply a technical issue that will not create any political problems. Albanian emigrants are increasingly sending their income to families informally due to the high fees associated with legal methods of money transfers in the country. The concern was raised by the governor of the Bank of Albania, Genç Seko, who stated that Albania, compared to the countries of the region, has the highest costs of sending and receiving international transfers of money. Informal channels are being used to bring legitimate money, said Genç Seko. In order to change the situation, the Bank of Albania requested improvements to the legislation. For this purpose, a memorandum of cooperation was signed with the Minister for the Diaspora, Pandeli Majko. Majko also demanded more attention from the banking system for absorbing investments, especially those from the diaspora. The banking system has to work for the absorption of investments, said Pandeli Majko. Income from emigrants has increased by 4% in the third quarter of this year, with the total for the first 9 months of the year seeing €464 million entering Albania through remittance. The former head of the Investigative Commission for the CEZ scandal, Talent Bala, and a former lawyer for Oshi presented at Tirana's court today. The pair were appealing the decision by the prosecutor's office to cease investigations into the privatisation of Oshi by CEZ. After leaving the court, where they presented the evidence in support of their appeal to the judge, Lazer Salaku, both parties described the prosecution's original decision as being politically motivated. Once the Assembly investigation was completed, we had new evidence, said Talent Bala. The prosecutor did not read the file at all, said the former lawyer. Both parties claim that the privatisation agreement with the Czechs constitutes a criminal offence, and for this purpose, those responsible should be brought before the law. The prosecution decided a few weeks ago to dismiss the case regarding the privatisation of Oshi to the Czech company CEZ, although a voluminous file of evidence containing approximately 5,000 pages was submitted by the Commission. The Minister for Infrastructure and Energy, Damian Jiknuri, has expressed his appreciation for the growth of foreign investments in Albania. In Novi Sel, an area that a few days ago was flooded with precipitation, the minister took part in the inauguration of a metal production plant. According to him, the construction cost alone for this factory was 3.3 million euros, which will be translated into real growth of Albanian exports. We are here in Novi Sela where, despite the fact that in the last days the news of natural disasters have dominated, there is another dimension that the public needs to know about. Novi Sel is seeing investments being realised in the manufacturing sector by foreign companies. We are here at the inauguration of the latest investment, a joint venture between an Italian company and Albanian investors who are producing metal parts for the internal markets and for export. This is a new modern investment with the latest technology, and for this we congratulate the enterprises involved. Investments are increasing and interest in Vlora has also increased, said Jiknuri. The minister also acknowledged the concerns existing regarding the sustainability of the power supply to the area. These are problems that have been inherited over the years, but will be soon solved with the investment that has just begun throughout this area of Novi Sela. The area is turning into an industrial zone. The new distribution operator's investment will enable energy to be supplied here without interruption, and next year we will also plan an investment to upgrade this area to a 20 kilowatt system. It means that energy will be supplied according to the best parameters, and that will help all businesses in this area to have uninterrupted energy, said Damian Jiknuri. This investment was supported by the Mayor of Vlora, Dritan Leli, who stated that the investment was of significant value, as well as providing opportunities for employment to some of the residents of the area. €5 million is the annual budget that the government needs to provide free textbooks for students from the 1st to the 4th grades. The Minister of Education reviewed the pre-university education law to make some changes, one of which is the provision of free textbooks for children. The proposal actually originated from within the Democratic Party, although, according to DP MP Albana Vokshi, in its original form the plan incorporated all pre-university education and not just the first 4 classes. The Democrats believed this proposal would be of significant help to the approximately 180,000 families who live on just $3 a day. The DP proposal is also for children of the diaspora, said Albana Vokshi. For the SMI, providing the material required for all compulsory education from the 1st grade to the 9th grade is a moral issue. Professor and SMI MP Shezai Rokai said that the government has a duty to meet their obligations in providing education to children. It is the duty of the government to support the students, said Shezai Rokai. The SMI also requested the Ministry of Education detail a complete report on the condition of schools after the floods. Discussions also occurred regarding the possibility of negotiating with publishing houses to provide books for students who have lost textbooks during the school year and classroom resources free of charge. "870 pine saplings have been added to the park at Farka Lake as part of the Orbital Forest project. Businesses have responded to the Mayor's call of greening up our capital of Tirana as much as possible as a way of protecting against erosion and flooding. I'm 870 times grateful for each of the trees planted here today. The call we have made to plant twice the number of trees for every car used has received the right answer. I'm very thankful today, not just for the donation of trees, but also to see the entire company, with their families, their children and their partners, treating this as a community day. I believe that when these tougher days have passed, when the country is developed, we will enjoy being able to turn our head back and say, this was that part of the orbital forest that we planted, said Erion Veliai. The municipality of Tirana is conducting this project with the aim of having added 100,000 trees to the capital by the end of the planting season. I believe that during the holiday season, everyone wants to receive a gift. Tirana has a personality and wants a gift too. The best gift we can give Tirana today is 870 trees. Tomorrow more, and to continue at this pace. As we continue like this every day, we will reach our goal of 100,000 trees during this season of planting. So we will continue throughout the holiday season. Anyone who wants to give a gift to our beloved Tirana, all you need to do is donate her 1 tree, said Erion Veliai. Along with the planting of trees, the municipality of Tirana is working on the implementation of using electric buses and taxis across the public transport network. All of these projects have the overarching aim of improving air quality in the city and therefore the quality of life for its citizens. That's all for our English edition this evening. My name is Alexandra. Please join me again Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for your local news in English. On behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.